Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
How are you, Brian? Can you see me?
Yes, perfect.
Good. I just want to see where we are. I'm just looking where we are. For some reason, what's happening here?
Yes, Liz.
Israel's bombardment has been constant and unsparing. More than 150 Palestinians were killed by Israeli airstrikes. In total, more than 1,400 Palestinians have now been evacuated since Saturday.
Okay, so I'm with you all. Oh, Dr. Liz, how are you, Dr. Liz? Baruch Hashem. Nice. Dr. Liz, I'm sure that the news that you're having for us, they're not so great, huh?
No, so I'll tell you, I'm sure you can all see, or you must watch, and it's on YouTube, President Biden's speech that he gave, which was incredible. But that you can all watch, and I'm sure the news, you know, about the British king and the prince and princess, how they're standing with Israel. But I'll tell you, tonight, coming back on the train, I saw there were many people going to Har Herzl. That's where I'm in Beit Vegan. That's a military cemetery. And I thought, you know, I must also go. So I went, and I was there at the funeral for, I just thought I'll go for any funeral. And it was an officer, his name was, it's so sad, his memory should be for eternal blessing, Dekel ben Moshe and Gila Suissa. And the Rav who started the speaking said, you know, he mentioned that in Beit Vegan, there were some students that went to Talmidim, they went to their Rav, and they said to the Rav, can we go abroad to the cave, to the Kvorim of Tzadikim? And the Rav looked at them and said, why don't you just go up the street to Har Herzl? That's where you'll find the Tzadikim. And you know, there were thousands of people at this funeral, many people like me who didn't know Dekel personally, and people just burst out crying because he was a tzaddik. This Dekel ben Moshe and Gila Suissa, his sister spoke, and his brother, and his parents, and the mother said he would bring flowers to her on Shabbat, and now she has to bring flowers to him. It was so moving, and you just feel the whole of Am Yisrael and the Rabbonim that spoke. It's really tzaddikim that we are losing. And Rav, I just want to mention, I don't know if you all know, unfortunately, the South African government haven't even mentioned a word about South Africans that have been killed or that have been taken into Gaza. And one, Rav Peretz, Doron Peretz and Shelley Peretz, their son, Daniel Shimon ben Sharon, is missing. The other son, he was injured, and they were going to have the wedding, but we must all pray and daven for Daniel Shimon ben Sharon. And just going back to this unbelievable funeral that I went to, this Levy, nobody said we want revenge. Nobody said, they just said we must improve ourselves and we must walk in the derech of Hashem, and that Am Yisrael Chai, and we will not be broken as a nation. It was so moving. And as I was leaving as we all were leaving the Levy, the ceremony, there were people that had brought food to give sandwiches to everyone, and water and drinks for everyone. So you really see Am Yisrael. You see, it's a very special. We're hurting and we're bleeding and we're grieving, but we have to believe that Hashem runs the world, and we're losing tzaddikim, but we have to stand firm, and we have to be united as Am Echad. So, Bezrat Hashem, we should only have Besorot Tovot.
Amen, 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 amen. Please God that we'll see only miracle. that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will merit us to see only miracle. I'm just waiting for a few more of our member of the show to join, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm waiting for Jeffrey, our reader, that maybe he have, because it's load shedding until 8. He's going to join us, I'm sure, any minute. But I would like to give you words regarding what's happened. Rabotai, we all daven in Yom Kippur, we daven in Rosh Hashanah. And many people say, how can it happen? How can it happen? Hashmonot Shamayim, we don't know. But we know one thing, that those people that died, those little ones, those that been killed for the sake that they Jews, Hazal tell us that em Kedoshim, what it means Kedoshim, holy. They go straight to heaven. None of them get judged. Why does it happen? We have no Hashbonot Shamayim, we don't know. We have to understand that HaKadosh Baruch Hu Natan, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Lakach. It's very difficult to understand that concept. May please God, we never get to that situation. But we have to understand HaKadosh Baruch Hu know what he's doing. We don't understand, it's very difficult. We're all bleeding. Kol Am Yisrael is bleeding. Am Yisrael, not only that we're bleeding, we're all grieving. At the moment, all of us have grief. We worried what's going to happen to the rest of the nation in Eretz Israel. We all worried what's going to happen with those that been taken to Gaza, those people that been kidnapped. What's going to happen? Is it going to be a war from the north? Is it going to be a war from Syria? We don't know what's going to happen. At the moment, the world is with us, but we have to understand that we're all happy that certain countries with us. Nachon, it's good to know, and it's good for the media. But we have to have in mind that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is with us. Never mind the rest. The rest is not important. We have to understand that if HaKadosh Baruch Hu with us, and the war started terribly, the war started the same like Yom Kippur War. We was unprepared. We was fasting 50 years ago when the Yom Kippur War started. This year, Am Yisrael was celebrating the Torah when it happened, most of Am Yisrael. It's come to tell you something very important. HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves us. HaKadosh Baruch Hu never left us. And look at the circle. We was being attacked. Now we attacking those, I don't know how to call them, savages. Even the word savages for them is a compliment. We attacking them. I want that, please God, to dedicate the show that all of those people that got injured, all of those people that been kidnapped, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will please bring them back healthy, back to their family, that can all look at it as a nightmare that passed away, Be'ezrat Hashem. Those that been kidnapped, those that got injured, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will look at it and will bring them back. That all we have to do now, we have to try to learn as much more Torah. Obviously, we have to be vigilant, but we have to have our faith in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. As Chazal say, "Etz harai leYaakov u'mimena yivasha." It's a time of difficulty for Yaakov. Yaakov, it's mean Bnei Israel, for the children of Israel. Aval, but mimena yivasha. The wisdom that we're going to get from it, that means the salvation going to be from that difficulties. And Baruch Hashem, Rabotai, the nation start to get united. The coalition start to get united. Not that I have a lot of faith in it, but the Jewish people starting to get united and understand that the Jewish people have to be united. And Be'ezrat Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will say, Dai letzarotenu, enough to all our chores, enough to all of the Jewish blood that's going to be spilled all over. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give us the merit, give us the chokhmah to understand that He's the Creator, and without Him we can't do nothing. It's very difficult. I don't know what to say. The word is actually doesn't coming out easily for me at the moment. I'm very emotional about it. I have a son in the army that at the moment I have 3 nephews that also in the army, 3 of my daughters, my sister's son in the army at the moment. Every person has someone there, and we have to daven 24/7. I'm not talking about just Israel. I'm talking about the army. So we have to have our faith that, please God, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will protect us. And He knows what He's doing. We just have to daven. We have to say Tehillim every second of the day, wherever we can. And Be'ezrat Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give us. Dr. Liz mentioned no one talking about revenge. No, we're not a nation of revenge. Revenge we have to leave to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Revenge is not for us. Many people think that we are a nation of revenge, we should take revenge. We can't take revenge. The revenge we leave to the Almighty. He knows what He's doing. How to deal with them, what to do with them, that He knows what to do. But we have to understand that if we go to that test, we obviously can overcome that test. But to come over that test, we have to have faith, we have to daven, and we have to keep more Torah. Maybe that's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants from us. And Be'ezrat Hashem, that we should merit. Mark, Jeffrey didn't join us yet. Would you mind getting the Chumash? So you're going to be the Baal Kol, Mark, if you don't mind.
You'll have to give me a few minutes. I've got to go downstairs.
Sure, I'll give you a few minutes.
Okay.
Okay. In the meantime, Rabotai, I would like to dedicate the shiur to those that been murdered, that been killed, and that massacre that was. I would like to dedicate the shiur that they don't need our shiur because they're going straight to heaven, as I mentioned. That we have to daven for their soul, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu make them, they're obviously holy people. As Hazal say, a person that been murdered for the sake that he's Jewish, going straight to Gan Eden. He doesn't have any judgment. Hashbonot Shamayim, we don't know. We just hope that they will pray for us. And they will stand and pray in the front of the Almighty that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will say enough for the killing, for the murdering, for the massacre of Jewish people all over the world. I would like to dedicate the shiur in the soul of Esther Kaden Bat Ketzia, Mordechai ben Rahma, Arav Avraham Haim ben Eliezer Yaakov, Tamar Bat Zeava, Yaakov Salomon ben Farha, Dvorah Ruth Bat Beila, Shosha Blima Bat Mordechai, Malka Regina Bat Joya, Keti Gurgia Bat Farha. Please God, Nishmatam Tiet Tzurah B'tzura Haim. I would like to dedicate the shiur in health. All those that got injured in that situation, all of those that in captivity, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send them strength and health and release them from captivity speedily. Also, refuah shlema to kol cholei amo Israel, to every person, every Jewish person all over the world, and amongst them Menashe ben Farha, Liora bat Miriam, Harav Moshe ben Bahia Batya, Harav Moshe ben Devorah, Harav Shlomo Yehuda ben Dalia, Harav Avraham ben Marima, Dvorah Ruth bat Beila, Orna Bluma bat Miriam, Sheina Keila bat Hana, Mordechai David ben Leah, Haim Nahum ben Pesa, Reza Kohen, Ahuva Kaden bat Esther, Baruch ben Sarah Hiena, Tzvi ben Hava, Shmuel Meir ben Shosha Blima, Shmuel ben Michal, יהודה הלל בן שולמית לאה, משה אברהם בן חנה, ריבה חיה ציפורה בת רחל, איילה עדן בת רבקה, טובה ליבה בת רחל, יהושע חיים בן חיה לאה, חנה משה, רבקה בת זלדה ולאה בת רחל. Please God, רפואה שלמה to all of them and to all the Jewish people all over the world. Okay, רבותיי, בסימנה טובה. סימנה טובה, it's בסימן טוב. We actually starting again to read the book of Sefer Bereishit, that the first book amongst the 5 books of Moses. We have to say thank you to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that we merit to start again, to read and to do the cycle of the 5 books of Moses. It's a great zchut, Rabotai, that we take it for granted, that we can actually, this Shabbos, we're going to read Sefer Bereishit, Parashat Bereishit, Be'ezrat Hashem, and please God will merit to read many, many more parashiyot. The first verse of Sefer Bereishit starts with the word Bereishit, and it's go like this. Bereishit bara Elokim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Mark, bechavod.
In the beginning of God creating the heavens and the earth.
Yeah. What does it mean? Rabotai, today I'm going to spend time on the word Bereshit and Bara. The word Bereshit and Bara. First of all, we have to understand how many words we have in this verse. Count with me. Bereshit, Bara, Elokim, et hashamayim, ve'et haaretz. 7 words. Why 7 words? Said the Mefarshim to teach you that the words work around number 7. That means that whatever there is in earth, okay, revolving number 7. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world, okay, for 7 days. There's a cycle of 7 days. Okay? Then, if you look at this verse, there is 28 letters. Why dafka 28 letters? This is to tell you Koach Hashem, the string of the Almighty, Koach Ma'asav Natan. That means the Almighty, given the strength of the creation, how did HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world? Koach Ma'asav Yigid La'amo. That means that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world with his own strength. No one else. It was only HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He created the world, okay, with the holy names of these holy names. That means that with them, HaKadosh Baruch Hu create the world. Okay? That's what people ask, what is Kabbalah Ma'asit? It's name of certain angels, certain holy name, and with them he created the world. Okay? That means that the HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world with holy names, his holy name, he created the world. Until here, just about the first verse. But the word Bereshit, let's try to understand the word Bereshit. In English, you translate it at the beginning. But I'm going to bring certain interpretation that brought by Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim. Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim, he born in Germany. He born around, if I'm not mistaken, around 754 years ago, or 755 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, in Germany. And he, amongst most of the commentary that wrote commentary on the word Bereshit, for example, I'm going to bring one of them later on, Rabbi Yaakov Abu Hatzira. In his book, Pituchei Chotam, he wrote 70 ways to explain the word Bereshit. What can you explain the word at the beginning? And that's what we're going to try and focus on to understand this evening, Be'ezrat Hashem, if HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to give us the Chokhmah and the wisdom. So say, Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim, what can we learn about the word Bereshit and what is coming to hint to us? What is it come to tell us? So he said that Akadosh Baruch Hu actually come to tell us something very interesting. Akadosh Baruch Hu take the word Bereshit, and the word Bereshit, he come to tell you when he created the word. How can it be? So say if you take the word Bereshit, take the letters and change them around. Okay, Bereshit, you write Bet, Resh, Aleph, Shin, Yud, Taf. That's 5 letters. Take the word Aleph, put it first. Then put the letters Bet. Then put Taf, Shin, Resh, Yud, and Aleph. It means first of Tishrei, Akadosh Baruch Hu created the world. That's word Bereshit. Say Rabbeinu Yaakov Baal HaTurim. That means that the word Bereshit tell us, when Akadosh Baruch Hu finished to create the world. When is he finished to create the world? In the first of Tishrei. Okay. Another thing that Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim tell us, if we take the word Bereshit and we split it to 2, you get the word bara, shte, shin, taf, yud. Akadosh Baruch Hu created 2. Create 2 what? We have to understand. Say the Mefarshim, when I say the Mefarshim, Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim, Akadosh Baruch Hu created 2 worlds. This world and the world to come. Akadosh Baruch Hu created the written Torah and the oral Torah. To tell you that one have to do with each other. To study the written Torah, you have to know the oral Torah. Without the oral Torah, you're not going to understand the written Torah. Then we say Akadosh Baruch Hu created 2 worlds. This world come to prepare us for the world to come. In this world, we can do mitzvot, and in the world to come, you can't do any more mitzvot. It's where you inherit and you get your present for how many mitzvot you've done. That means that the rewards is for the world to come. And this world come to tell you that you have to prepare yourself for the world to come. And that's what the word Bereshit come to tell you. Barashte, he created what? He created 2 worlds. Akadosh Baruch Hu created 2 worlds, created also 2 Torah, Torah shebichtav, Torah shebe'al peh. Hazal tell us something very important. Hazal tell us that the word 2 that come to teach you that this world, it's a preparation, it's like a passage for the world to come. That's what they explain. But Rabotai, if we take the word also Bereshit, and we split it to 2, bara, shite, shit. What does it mean, shite? Hazal explained that Akir, the Torah, tell us and hinting to us that bara, it's created. That Akadosh Baruch Hu created the world in 6 days. That on the 7th day you rested. The creation took 6 days. It's come to tell you in the word Bereshit that Akadosh Baruch Hu actually created the world in 6 days. Another interpretation, let's take the word Bereshit and change the words, the letters around. We can get 2 words, Brit Esh, covenant of fire. Come say Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim something important. You have to understand that from here, and the word Bereshit, it's hinting to us that the Jewish person obligated to do Brit Milah. One of the covenants that you obligated to do, and you, even if you have to die, Brit Milah. The covenant is a Brit. People obligate to do Brit Milah. Let's continue. Let's take the word Bereshit. Okay? We say that there is 6 letters in a word Bereshit. Before I say 5, sorry, I made a mistake. There is 6 letters. It's Bet, Resh, Aleph, Shin, Yud, said the Gaon Vilna, Rabbi Eliyahu Vilna. Rabbi Eliyahu Vilna, born around 303 years ago, plus minus, if I'm not mistaken. And again, I repeat, some people say that he born in Vilna, some people say born in Lutta. זה באמת לא משנה. But he said from the word Bereshit, the Torah telling us how a person can succeed by studying Torah. He said, take the first letters. The first letters stand for bitachon. That means to have confidence, to have the security in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That means to trust HaKadosh Baruch Hu 100%. That's bet, bitachon. Resh is ratzon, wish, desire. That the person have to have the desire to study Torah, to work on himself. And number 3, Aleph, it tell you ahava, love. That a person love HaKadosh Baruch Hu and love the nation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That means, ואהבת לרעך כמוך, זה רבי עקיבא, זה כלל גדול בתורה. That means to live in peace and unity one with each other. The 4th word that we have, Shin. What it means, Shin, Stan? Shtika. What it means, Shtika? Quietness. That when you're learning Torah, keep quiet, listen. You can only become wisdom if you listen. Yud, it's for Yir'ah. What it means, Yir'ah? To have the fear of heaven. That if you want to study Torah and be matzliach in your Torah, you should have the fear of heaven. And the last one, Torah. That a person should have all the character traits to learn from our holy Torah. Come, the Gaon Vilna, and say, if you take those 6 ideas, that's what can help you to improve your Torah. That's how you can reach to a different level. If we look something very interesting, after that it says, after the word Bereishit, it says bara. At the beginning, okay, the Almighty create. What did it create? What it mean bara, the word creation? So, if you take the word bara, in Hebrew it means, okay, to create. But in Aramaic it means bra. Bra, it means sun. Come the Mefarshim tell you, from the word bara, you can actually hint, it can hint to you, and you can interpret it, that the person needs 3 things in his life. Bnei, Hayeh, Umzoneh. What is Bnei? It's children. Hayeh is life, good life. And Mezoneh is Parnasa. Said the Mefarshim like this. So now I'll tell you what you can learn from what is the Torah hinting to you from the word bara. Bara, we say in Aramaic, it means son. That's bnei. That the person should daven all the time, that he should have kids, that its kids should be healthy, its kids should be wealthy, and his kids should have wisdom and should follow the word, okay, the Torah, the word of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But he's saying that also bra mean for briut. That means health. That the person in his life need hayeh. What it mean hayeh? A good life. Person should have long life, healthy life, wealthy life. That he should enjoy his life in peace, in tranquility. The last one that the Torah hinting to us, bara, it means shon bar. What it mean bar? Bar, it mean wheat. Okay, that the person should daven that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send them wheat. Wheat represent food. Food represent parnasa. That we should all daven to have parnasa in this world. It's come to tell you something else. And we said, I promise you that I'm going to bring one of the idea from the 70 way that Rabbi Yaakov Abu Hatzera, that born in the city of Tiflat, he born around, if I'm not mistaken, around 217, 218 years ago. In Tiflat is a city in Morocco. And he wrote a book, Pituchei Hotam. And he said that if you look that Bereishit bara Elokim, the gematria of it, bara Elokim tshuva. The Almighty created tshuva. That means when HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world, it said Bereishit bara Elokim, at the beginning of the creation, the gematria of it, at the beginning, HaKadosh Baruch Hu created tshuva. Before HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world, HaKadosh Baruch Hu was thinking that he's going to create a word in Midat Adin. But he saw that people going to sin. So what is he done immediately in the creation of the world? He created tshuva. That if people sin, they can do tshuva. And it said that's what the three words said. Bereshit bara Elokim. It means in the beginning, HaKadosh Baruch Hu created tshuva. That means it's to tell a person that HaKadosh Baruch Hu knew that we're human beings. But the first thing that he created tshuva. That the person will know that even if he sin, there is something that above it. If he'll do tshuva, HaKadosh Baruch Hu forgive him. And if he'll do tshuva me'ahava, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will turn his sin to credit. And that's what it means, Bereshit bara Elokim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Rabotai, and what I told you now about the word Bereshit, that we're speaking maybe for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, it's not even of the beginning what we can continue. But if we spend all the hour about, or 2 hours just about the first verse of the Pasuk, we're not going to know what's happening on Shabbos with the rest of the Parsha. So I would like to move on with your permission. Let's go to verse 7. Verse 7, yeah. Verse 7. I'm just looking here at my book. Verse 7. Yes, yeah. Look what it says. Vayas Elohim et harakia, vayavdel ben hamayim asher mitachat larakia, uben hamayim asher me'al larakia, vayihi chen.
So God made the firmament and separated between the waters, which are beneath the firmament and the waters which are above the firmament, and it was so.
Okay. Then a pshat of the dvarim, on the second day, HaKadosh Baruch Hu separate the water, the heavenly water and the earthly water. And come most of the mefarshim and say, if you look carefully on Yom Shani, he didn't say kitov, vayhi kitov. The word kitov didn't mention. Why? How come? And that question been asked by many of the mefarshim. Tonight I'm going to bring the commentary of Rabbeinu Behaye. Rabbeinu Behaye, he born in the city of Saragossa around 768 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 67, 68, if I'm not mistaken. Saragossa is in Spain. And he asked also this question. How come that the word Kitov, Bayra Hashem Kitov, didn't mention? So many of the Mefarshim explain, and Hazal say that in this day been created the Mahloket. That on Monday, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu separate the heavenly water and the earthly water, it was a Mahloket, he separate. So become the Mahloket in the world. Okay? The Midrash say, listen to that, say Rabbeinu Behaye, that on a Monday, Gehenna being created. Lo alem. Gehenna. But we have to understand really in depth what's the difference? Why? Why doesn't say Kitov? There is a book that's called Mepi Hashmoa. Mepi Hashmoa, it's a book that people wrote in the name of Rabbi Chaim Brisk. He didn't write the book. It's in the name of Rabbi Chaim Brisk. What does it mean? That people heard Rabbi Chaim Brisk talking, and they wrote what his lectures. Okay? And Mepi Hashmoa say, I'll explain what Rabbi Chaim Brisk said regarding why on the Monday the word the Hakadosh Baruch Hu didn't mention those words Kitov. Why didn't mention Kitov? So on the pshat of the Dvarim, like we explained, that was mahloket. He said, what was the mahloket? We explained that Hakadosh Baruch Hu separate the heavenly water and the earthly water. Come, Rabbi Chaim Brisk, and say, I agree with you. But tell me something. On a Wednesday, we know that Hakadosh Baruch Hu separate the light and the darkness. So also was a separation. Also was a mahloket. How come that on a Wednesday, it's a Kitov, Vayrei Hashem Kitov? Very valid question. On a Wednesday, it said that HaKadosh Baruch Hu separate between the darkness and light, light and darkness. On a Monday, you separate between the heavenly water and the earthly water. How can it be? That's the question of Mepi Hashmoa that asked Rabbi Chaim Brisk. Said the Mefarshim, how can it be? How can it be? And here you don't tell me that there is mahloket, really. Say Rabbi Chaim Brisk, in the name of Rabbi Chaim Brisk, I'm correcting. He said, I'll explain to you. He said, when you take water and you split them to two, you actually create a dividing between them. That means a mahloket between them. There's something between them. But if you take the light and darkness, it's two different concepts. Because light and darkness cannot work together. There's no way that they're going to work together, said the Mefarshim. Said the Mefarshim like this. If you take darkness, it's a concept of darkness. If you take light, it's a concept of light. He said, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu divide the light and the darkness, he didn't create a mahloket. He just divided two different concepts. But water that been split to two, it's the same concept. Water is water. You can't divide them. He said, that's the difference. That on Monday, HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't mention the word Kitov. While on a Wednesday, HaKadosh Baruch Hu mentioned the word Kitov. Why? Because on a Wednesday, it was two different concepts. And it didn't have to have mahloket. HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't need to separate between them. What he separates, the light that is light, it's a concept, one concept. While darkness is a different concept. So it wasn't really mahloket. And that's the difference. Say, mentioned in the name of Rabbi Chaim Brisk. I would like to continue, and I would like to go to verse 27. Verse 27, because the time is it's almost 20 to 9, and we spend a lot of time on the word Bereishit, or on the first word, on the first verse of the book of Bereishit. Look what it says. ויברא אלוהים את האדם בצלמו, בצלם אלוהים ברא אותו, זכר ונקבה ברא אותם. בכבוד.
So God created man in his image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them.
Come the Rambam. The Rambam is Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon, the great eagle. The great eagle born, as I mentioned, he born in the city of Cordova. Cordova is in Spain. And first of all, he born around 888 years ago, plus minus. And in his commentary to the Mishnah in Masechet Sanhedrin, he said, I don't understand. One of the 13 principles that we have, that the Almighty doesn't have a body, okay? That the Almighty doesn't have a body. HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't have lo guf ve'lo dmut haguf. Not only that he doesn't have a body, he doesn't even have an image of a body. So how can you tell me, in the image of HaKadosh Baruch Hu created Adam? A very valid question. So to answer that, but Rabotai, if you want to see that, it's the Gemara in, it's a Mishnah in Masechet Sanhedrin in Perek Yud, in his commentary. There he wrote that we know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't have an image. So how can you tell me that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created Adam HaRishon, or human being, in the image of HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Very valid question. I saw a commentary from in a book that's called Reshit Chokmah. Reshit Chokmah is a book that been written by Rabbi Eliyahu Davidash. Rabbi Eliyahu Davidash, born in Tzfat on the 16th century during the golden era of the wisdom, the great sages, the great wisdom sages during the Ari HaKadosh, the Ramak, Rabbi Moshe Cordovero, Al-Sheikh HaKadosh, who lived in that time, the Marana Bet Yosef, Rabbi Yosef Karo, that wrote the Shulchan Aruch, great Kabbalistic rabbi. And say Rabbi Eliyahu Davidash something very interesting. He said, look, HaKadosh Baruch Hu have 13 principle of mercy. El, Rahum, V'Hanun, Er, Chapayim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is merciful, he is patient, okay? Er, Chapayim, Dol Chesed, that means that he's full of kindness and compassion. He said what the Torah tried to tell you here, that in the image of HaKadosh Baruch Hu created Adam in his image. What does it mean? That HaKadosh Baruch Hu created Adam to have those character traits. Merciful, compassion. A person should have patience, to do hasadim, to do kindness with one each other, and etc. Say the Rabbi Eliyahu Davidash something very important. He said that HaKadosh Baruch Hu tell us something very important. במידה שאדם מודד, מודדים לו. What does it mean? Hazal tell us in the Mishnah in Masechet Sota, in chapter 1, Mishnah 7, במידה שאדם מודד, מודדים לו. What does it mean? The way that the person judge other people, that's how he's going to be judged. It's come to tell you that if a person have full of mercy, it's not so strong, not so strict, okay? HaKadosh Baruch Hu judge him the same way. But if Has v'Shalom, a person judge other people this way, HaKadosh Baruch Hu judge him the same. Lo alen. How much we have to be careful how we judge. So say Rabbi Eliyahu Davidash something very interesting. במידה שאדם מודד, you must understand the way that you judge other people. That's how you're going to be judged. That means HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants you to be full of mercy and compassion. Isn't that amazing? I would like to jump now, with your permission, to chapter 3, verse 6. And here we see something very interesting. I know I'm jumping quite a bit, but otherwise we're not. There's a lot to talk about Parashat Bereishit. But I have a question for many years, and I'm sure many of you have the same question. And it took me a long time to find an answer, and I would like to share it with you. In verse 6, we're learning that Adam HaRishon eating from the tree of knowledge. What's happening here? Look what it says. ותראה האישה כי טוב העץ למאכל, וכי תאווה הוא לעיניים, ונחמד העץ להשכיל, ותיקח מפריו ותאכל, ותיתן גם לאישה עמה ויאכל.
And the woman perceived that the tree was good for eating, and that it was a delight to the eyes, and that the tree was desirable as a means to wisdom. And she took of its fruit and ate, and she gave also to her husband with her, and she ate, and he ate.
Okay, so if we look at that verse, we can see on Pshat of the Dvarim that Adam HaRishon eaten from the tree of knowledge because Hava given him. Why did Hava eaten from the tree of knowledge? Because she saw that the tree looked nice, she had a desire. That's on the Pshat of the Dvarim that Adam HaRishon and Hava eaten from the tree of knowledge. But Rabotai, we have to understand in depth, and that's where I have the difficulty. For many years, Adam HaRishon, we have to understand, created by the Almighty. It wasn't creation of a human being. How can it be that Adam HaRishon eaten from the tree of knowledge? That's the question that we have to understand. Many answers being given, and for many years, I didn't feel satisfied with that. And I tell you what, Chazal in the Gemara in Masechet Sanhedrin, in page 38, folio 1, tell us that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created Adam HaRishon b'sha'a asirit, and 10 hours of the day, okay? Of the day, not of the night, okay? Then he eaten from the tree of knowledge in the 10 hours after he created him. He was already ready in a body of the age of 20, like a human being of 20. Few hours later, just before Shabbos, because he's been created when? On a Friday. Few hours to Shabbos. If he would wait another hour or two, not even an hour or two, he can eat from the tree of knowledge and nothing going to happen to him. How come Adam HaRishon, that been created by Kadosh Baruch Hu, and he was so clever, eaten from the tree of knowledge? That's the question that I have for many, many years. And I battled with that. Nahon, that was many interpretations. But I needed more meat. You know, when you eat a bone, you don't want to eat the bone. You want to eat the meat. I wanted to find an answer that really going to satisfy me. And it was very, very difficult for me. And I saw the answer in a book, Zera Shimshon. Rabbi Shimshon Haim Nachmani. He born in the city of Modena in the north of Italy 318 years ago. And he writes a beautiful answer, Botai, that if you understand that, and we're going to bring a kashya on it, okay, we'll understand. Adam HaRishon and Hava, when they eaten from the tree of knowledge, been kicked out of Gan Eden. We know, HaKadosh Baruch Hu kicked them out of Gan Eden. Say, the Zera Shimshon, wait, I don't understand. Adam HaRishon, you're such a clever man. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created you. From your soul, all the rest of the world gonna be all 70 nations that there is in the world. How can it be that you couldn't wait and you eaten from the tree of knowledge? So on a pshat of the Dvarim, we can say, no, it's because, you know, the desire to eat from that tree pushed them. If we think like this, said the Midrash, you're actually limiting Adam HaRishon. You're underestimating Adam HaRishon. Said the Midrash, let me tell you. Adam HaRishon eaten from the tree of knowledge. Listen to that, Rabotai, on purpose. In purpose, when I read that, I couldn't believe. Say, yeah, why did he read? Adam HaRishon knew that if you're going to eat from the tree of knowledge, you're going to die. Whatever age, you're going to die. Before that, he was immortal. How can it be that you're eating from the tree of knowledge? You want to kill yourself. Said the Zera Shimshon in the name of the Midrash. Akadosh Baruch Hu show Adam HaRishon what's going to happen from the beginning of the creation until the world's going to end in 8,000 years. We don't understand that. He saw every person that's going to born. And he saw that going to be people that going to have so much arrogancy on them that they're going to think that they're God. Who they are? The first one was Paro. Paro said to his nation, he's a God. The second was Hiram, Melech Tzor. The third one was Nebuchadnezzar. Those three that claim that they God. Come Adam HaRishon and said, listen, I can't understand that. How can it be that people that are going to come from my own nation, they're going to declare that they God forbid. Say, no, I'm going to eat from the tree of knowledge and I'm going to die. Because if I'm not going to eat from the tree of knowledge, they're going to declare that they're almighty. They're the creator. And they will never die. Say, the Midrash, Adam HaRishon eaten on purpose from the tree of knowledge and brought this to the world. That people will understand that they can't say that they're God. Because the Almighty never died. So he said by that he eaten from the tree of knowledge, he created the punishment of death to the world. He brought the punishment of death to the world. Why? That he saw that Nebuchadnezzar, Paro, and Hiram, Melech Tzor, going to claim that they God. So what has he done? He said, I'm going to show them that they can't be arrogant. Why? If they God, they're not going to die. But if they die, so that means that they're not God. And that's what he eaten from the tree of knowledge. Until here, the Midrash, and that's how Rabbi Shimshon Haim Nachmani explained it. Come Rabbi Shimshon Haim Nachmani and ask a deeper question. In that case, I understand. Adam HaRishon done it for the sake of the Almighty. In that case, why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu punish him and took him out of Gan Eden? Why did he take him out of Gan Eden? That's the question of the Zera Shimshon. How can it be? Why he have to expel from Gan Eden? Why did he kick him out? Said the Zera Shimshon, come and I explain to you where was his mistake. The Torah tells us something, a very important concept. The Torah tells us, and Rabotai, we have to understand that the people think that the end we have to understand that the end does not justify the mean. People can't think that they can justify their deeds, okay, by the action. What is it? HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when created Adam HaRishon, he created him with nekavim. Every morning we say, after we go to the toilet, or every time that we go, אשר יצר את האדם בחוכמה וברא בו נקבים נקבים. What it mean נקבים? Holes. What it mean holes? We have the two nostrils, we have the two eyes, we have the two ears, we have the mouth. Lahavdil, we have the Brit Milah, where we take in all the impurity or we cleaning ourselves, let's call it. Said the Zera Shimshon, if Adam HaRishon would be a bit more patient and wouldn't sin from the tree of knowledge, because by that he sinned from the eating from the tree of knowledge, he actually broke a negative command from the Torah. You should not eat from the tree of knowledge, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So that was a negative command. By that he eaten, it broke a negative command. Said the Zera Shimshon, if Adam HaRishon would wait a bit, he will understand that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created certain holes, I don't know how to say it in English, nekavim, that the person need to go to the toilet. How do we say that? Paro claimed that he's God. What did HaKadosh Baruch Hu say to Moshe Rabbeinu? Hashkem baboker, go early in the morning, and go where? To the Nile. Who's going there? Pharaoh. Pharaoh used to tell his nation he's going to do exercise in the Nile. In the meantime, he used to clean himself in the Nile. Moshe Rabbeinu caught who? Paro. Because God doesn't need to go to the toilet. Say, Zera Shimshon, if Adam HaRishon would be a bit patient, and he would think as he created that he need to go to the toilet. He need to blow his nose. He need to clean his ears. Sometimes he have phlegm. He have to clean the eyes. You know, after a person sleep, you get those, I don't know how you say it in English, by his eyes, the white stuff or the green stuff. Come to tell you, said the Zera Shimshon, if Adam HaRishon would think a little bit, he wouldn't go and create Avera. By that he eaten from the tree of knowledge, he broke a negative command. And that is what Hazal tried to teach us. Hazal tell us that the reason that he been punished, says the Zera Shimshon, because he brought a negative command from the Almighty. And he eaten from the tree of knowledge. Nachon, that he done it for the sake of heaven, but that doesn't justify the mean. Come Zera Shimshon and tell us, Rabota, you learn from here that the end does not justify the mean. Sometimes we think that we know better the Almighty. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when he created human being, he created him with all different places that he can clean himself. That he need to go to the toilet, he need to take all the food that it's not good, you have to release it. And that's the difference that when Adam HaRishon made a mistake. That's how the Zera Shimshon. And that can help us to understand why Adam HaRishon eaten from the tree of knowledge. And if he eaten for the sake of the Almighty, why has he been punished? Now we understand why has he been punished. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu know better. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the creator. And that's what the Torah tried to teach us here. I would like to go to chapter 2 I didn't done, because I've done chapter 3. Let's do one from chapter 2, sorry. Let's go to the beginning. The beginning, it's chapter 2. Where's it? Chapter 2, verse 1. Yeah, let's do the first one on chapter 2, and then we'll finish with that, I think, because we're already at 9 o'clock. In chapter 2, verse 1, Vayachelu hashamayim va'aretz v'chol tzevam. Yes, Vayachelu hashamayim va'aretz v'chol tzevam. Let's see what it says.
Thus the heaven and the earth were finished, and all the array.
Okay. Many of the Mefarshim ask, wait, I don't understand. How can you say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu finished to create on a 6th day the heaven and the earth, and whatever he created, b'chol tzevam? How can it be? We know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in matter of fact, created on the first day the earth. Then he created heaven. After that, he created all the vegetarian. Okay? And on the 4th day, he created light and darkness, like we explained. On the 5th day, he created fish and the birds. And on the sixth day, he created the animals and Adam Arishon. So I don't understand. How can you tell me that Vayachilu Hashamayim ve'aretz v'chol tzeva'am, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu finishes creation on the sixth day? That's the question of many of the Mefarshim battling with it. I saw a beautiful commentary of Rabbi Ovadia Bartenura, Rabbi Ovadia Sforno. Rabbi Ovadia Sforno, Misforno, he wrote a beautiful, first of all, where is he born? He born in it's a city of Cesena. Cesena is a city in Italy. He born around 53 years ago, 52 years ago. In his profession, besides being a great scholar person and writing commentary on the Torah that's been accepted by all the great leaders, he was a doctor. If you look carefully, many of the great scholars have a profession. They have a profession. And he wrote something very interesting. He said that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when he created the world, not only that on the first day he created the earth and then the heaven, and then he created the grass, and then he created the light and the darkness. Then he created the birds and the fish, and on the sixth day he created animals and human beings. Nachon, that's all nachon. But he said this was all being created, but nothing was functionable. When everything became functionable, only on the sixth day. That means on the sixth day, after HaKadosh Baruch Hu created and prepared everything for Adam Arishon, when he created Adam Arishon, only then HaKadosh Baruch Hu took all of his creation and he put life to it. That means all the creation didn't have any purpose. It's been created, but it couldn't do nothing. There's no function to it. When did HaKadosh Baruch Hu put a function that the earth gonna be working, the heaven gonna be working, the grass gonna grow, the animal that in the sea gonna start swimming, the birds gonna start flying on the sixth day? That means the functional of the world was on the sixth day. That's mean, and that's what to tell us that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, nachon, that he created everything before. That's beautiful. But nothing was functioning. When did he make everything function? On the sixth day. Why? So Adam Arishon will come and see everything ready for him. What difference does it make? That Adam Arishon will understand that the world cannot create by himself. Someone has to create it for him. So people will see the sun, people will see the moon, people will see the sea, people will see the animal in the sea, people will see the birds, the grass, the trees, the beautiful flowers that there is in the world. And we'll appreciate that. Then we'll understand that there is a creator to it. If we go to a city, to any city in the world, okay? There is light, there's train, there's airplane, there's houses, there's roads, there's streets, everything. Obviously, we understand that was the architect behind it, was someone behind it to design the beautiful building. Someone did design the road. Someone worked and designed how is the sewage system going to work. That means, was there someone before us? Say Rabbi Ovadia Misforno. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world, nothing was functioning. It started to function in honor of Adam Arishon. That to teach us to appreciate that there is a creator to the world. And not say, like certain Meshugaim say, that the world created from a Big Bang, or people said that the world created from what they call it, the beam. There's all different theories of crazy people. That's what it's come to teach us. Be'ezrat Hashem, that we should understand what the Torah tried to teach us, what's hiding in this parsha. That Parashat Bereishit tried to hint to us and to tell us that you should understand that everything that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created, number one, is perfect. Everything is hinting in a word Bereshit. How many days was the creation? How many Torah we have? How many world we have? Everything in a word Bereshit. Bara, what does it mean? What do we need in our life? And also the word Bereshit is a tool that if a person wants to learn Torah. Be'ezrat Hashem, that I hope that you enjoy the show. It will give you a different way this coming Shabbos to look at the Parsha in a different light. That our Parsha that we're going to read on Shabbos give you a different concept. What does it mean, Parashat Bereishit? Just to mention again, this coming Shabbos, I'm giving a live shiur. We're starting again this week again. The live shiur on Shabbos an hour before Mincha, whatever time Mincha gonna be, an hour before, I give a live shiur at Yeshiva College. Those of you that can attend, I would love to see you. And meanwhile, I would like to thank you all for joining the shiur, to wish you all a beautiful weekend. Try to be very vigilant tomorrow. As you heard the news, I'm sure that all of you heard that they're planning something not good. But Be'ezrat Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will protect us and guard us. And we'll see a beautiful Shabbos. We see from now on light in the end of the tunnel, Be'ezrat Hashem. Those of you that have questions, I don't know if anyone want to have to ask question. Yes, anyone want to ask? No? Mark, you want to ask?
No, Rav. No
No,
question.
okay. Okay, Rabotai.
Thank you, Rav.
Pleasure.
All the best.
Have a good night.
Shabbat shalom.
Enjoy. All the best. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
Thank you, Rav.
Bye. Bye.